now I am opening the hood on the Civic.
And what will you be doing today?
Oil change.
Okay.
Just put the Honda Civic on the lock so I can drain the oil. Now loosening the bolt for the oil pan so I can drain the oil.
For this type of job, can somebody do this at home, or do they need a lift to do it? Do they need special
You can
tools?
do it at home,
Yeah. Okay.
but you gotta make sure it's on a nice flat surface so it's even.
So we just wait a while till the oil gets finished draining?
Yep.
Do we have to wait until every little bit gets out, or?
Just enough.
Okay. And what are those? What you got there?
These are the oil filter pliers.
Okay. And oh, I see. All right. And there's an oil filter up there.
Yep.
And you use them just to grab the oil filter?
Yep. Very gently. Unscrew it.
Will the oil filter leak a little bit of oil when you take it off? Usually?
Sometimes.
Okay. And that's the oil filter there.
The oil filter.
Okay. Just put our drain plug back in
Yep.
there. What does a drain plug look like? Can you show that to me? Okay.
You just want to tighten it just snug so it doesn't stick. There the next time. Now I'm going to be putting the oil filter back in.
Okay. And how do you know when that's tight enough? Do you have to put a wrench on it or anything, or you just gotta snug it with your hand? What do you gotta do?
Snug it with your hand.
Okay. Okay, and what's that there?
This is the oil cap.
Okay. And how do you know? Do you just put one of those in, or
4.
four? And how do you know to put that many in there?
It can be on the all data or the owner's manual.
Okay. Does that tell you what kind of oil to put in too?
Yep. 10W30.
For this car, is it different for different cars?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm Samantha, and I'll be showing you how to remove and replace shocks on a Chevy Beretta. I'm going to start by putting it on the lift or on jack stand, and then remove the tires.
And where is the shock located?
And it's right here.
Okay. And how can we tell if it's bad? Why would we have to replace it?
Once you remove it, if you can push it down, compact it, and it doesn't spring back out, then the oil that's up in here is gone, and it needs to be replaced in order to help with the suspension. To start, you should use the jack and put it under here so that when you take the shock out, the coil spring doesn't. You don't need to lift it, just enough so it doesn't. You may need to try a breaker bar, depending on if it's really tight or not. This is not, so it's okay. That was the easy part. Next comes the hard part. With this one, you have to go up into the trunk, and there's a cap where these bolt in. Move the lining, and right here, you want to pull this up. sits over there, over them, and bolts on like that. And you can come over here. And this is loose. If you can pull it down easily, then it needs to be replaced. Because it should, when you push it down, it should spring back up. But it doesn't.
Okay.
And then install.
I'm going to show you how to work on a 1994 Ford pickup. We're working on the lights today. First, we're going to look at the headlights. The headlights work. The left one works. The right one works. Now we're going to look at the high beams. See if the high beams work. The high beams work now. Now we're going to do directional lights. The left one works. Now we're going to check the right one. The right one works. Now we're going to go into the back of the car. Look at the other lights. Directionals work. Directionals work on the left side. The right side. The right side. The right side. The right side work. Now we're going to check out the back of the lights. The back of it. Now we're going to check the brake lights. One of them is actually blowing out. So now I'm going to unscrew.
Yep.
Now I'm going to unscrew it. I'm going to show you guys how to unscrew it to fix the light bulb.
Okay.
Now we're going to unscrew it. I use a Phillips head screwdriver. First we do the top part. Top part. Unscrew it. It's really easy and simple how to unscrew the tail light. Just now I'm unscrewing it. Now I'm going to go on top of the tail light to take the first one out the top. Now we're going to open it. Now we're going to look in here. Now we're going to look at the lights. Check which ones are working. You can tell that it is broken by the blackness of the light bulb. See the dark color. Now we're going to twist it back on. There we go. Now we're going to line it up with the holes, the top parts of these. We're going to line them up with the holes that sort of fit in. we're going to put these back in. Now we're going to check the lights again to make sure they work.
Okay.
Now we're going to check the brake lights to make sure they work now. Now they work, so this is how you fix it. You fix it, you unscrew it to make sure. We'll check the light bulb first. Now the light is working now because we got a new light bulb from the part store. So now this is Dan of how to fix that. This is how we fix the lights on the Ford pickup.
My name is Dylan Lazinski, and we're going to be doing a brake drum job. Today you're going to need your impact gun with a 19mm. The brake drum. This is basically on most pickup trucks or cars, and it has a 30 to 70 ratio, 30 being the back and 70 being the front of the ratio, or 60-40. But in any case, how the brake drum works is while you're moving along, there's two brake shoes, which I'll show you in a second. Two brake shoes that push up against it and make it stop while you're going. So as this is spinning, it'll press these brake shoes will press outwards onto this drum and make it stop. Brake drum. You see how it is made. The brake shoes are supposed to make it compress on the outside of this edge, and you can see the smoothie, clarity of the edge. And these are the brake shoes right here with friction material, springs that hold it together, one set of springs that hold it together, and two other sets of springs that hold it together as well. Okay, right here is the wheel cylinder, and there's two little pistons on the outside of it. So what that does is when the brake fluid that comes through this line in the back that's connected to it makes it push outward and make the brake drum come to a complete stop. And basically that's what the job of the wheel cylinder is. To remove it, you're going to have to start with the top springs right here, these two top springs right there, to get them off. And what I'm going to use is the brake spring tool right here. There's like 1, 2, 3 different sides, but in any case, you use this side to get off the springs, and how you do it is with this little lip. You first take and make sure that this little lip catches right here, so to speak, and then you twist and make sure it's on there good, and then you come off like so, and you do the same for the other one. You get it on. Sometimes you just need a little work it. And this will happen occasionally. Your springs will tend to not want to do stuff for you, and you've got these two springs off. Next is what you want to do is use the hold down spring tool to get these guys right here. These are quite difficult to sometimes get. There's a little pin in the back that's making it lock in place. You can see right in the middle, right there. So what you're going to do is almost like a nail. You're going to have to find the back of it. You kind of have to look. You can look for it, or you can feel for it, and and it'll come out stick like a nail, or so to speak, ahead of the nail, which is usually fine. You take the spring tool, you push in, twist, and voila, you got it off. And you see that this is the piece that makes it lock in place and holds it down as well. So whenever you're whenever the spring's holding the brake shoe down, that it makes it lock in place and hold it down, like so. You're gonna have to get the other one. Make sure you have all the parts. You don't need a lot, but I mean, you need a good amount. So, once the NC is put on, you start putting the brake drum back together. And you want to try to start from the bottom because it kind of gets difficult to, like, if you don't have any of the springs on or anything like that. You want to try to kind of like torque it some ways to get the adjuster and the spring on. Kind of like this. Got that part on, so it makes it twice as much easier to get on. And then once you have that, kind of put that little hook into the loop for the emergency brake. Bring it up. Configure it in some way so that it will stay put. You want to try to put this on first because you always want to try to do it in order. In a way. Okay, one step I skipped was to put this in next. And kind of have to like take this off in a way, kind of cock it. Then that's already in the middle. You kind of gonna have to mess around with it a little bit. Kind of. And then you got that, so it's held in place. So you can go to the next step. Use the other side like this one. And you want to try to loop them. And put them on like this, like Make sure this little lip catches that. And then slide and hook. Do the same with the other. Loop.
Alright, and what's the last step after you have it all put together?
You put the drum, well, you normally put the drum on, and there's like a little hole in the back with a rubber seal, and you take that off to adjust. This one doesn't have it, so you normally just take the brake drum off and adjust it like that and put it on, and so on and so forth, until you got a nice good even grip on this, like it's really kind of a little difficult to spin.
My name is Thomas Pierce, and I'm going to show you how to do the front brakes and rotors on the Hyundai Elantra. First thing that you need is a impact gun and a 21mm socket to remove the lug nuts. Make sure it's on reverse. Next, you're going to need a 14mm socket and a ratchet to remove the bolts off of the caliper. To remove the caliper. Set it up out of your way so it doesn't dangle. Now you want to remove the brake pads. You can use a flathead screwdriver to take them out so you can Next, you want to remove the caliper bracket. You use a 17mm socket.
And what's the caliper bracket? Can you show that to me?
This is your caliper bracket, which holds the brakes and the caliper in place. The caliper will connect to these 2 points.
Okay.
You will unbolt this bolt from this bolt. sure you hold on to the caliper bracket so it doesn't fall. Alright, now that you got your caliper and your caliper bracket off, you want to remove the hub nut. First, you have to start by removing the caliper.
You have to remove the hub nut on. Do you have to do it on all cars?
No, not all of them. Just some of them they will have a hub nut that will hold your rotor in place. Not all of them needs it. This one does. First thing that you have to do is remove your powder pin, which will help hold your hub nut in place if it does loosen and it might fall off. Next you need a hub socket, the impact gun, remove the washer. Alright, next you need a slide hammer. Hold the rotor off. Use your lug nuts to hold in the bracket. Snug up the lug nuts. After that, connect the slide hammer to the bracket. Ball. Now just disconnect the connections. Alright, when you have your rotor off, you might want to inspect it in here to make sure all the bearings and the grease is all good. You need to remove these 4 bolts to get this off so you can get your rotor off and replace it. You need a 14mm socket and a 14mm ratchet. On the back, hold hold it in place. I will put this one on turn, spin it. After you remove your hub from the rotor, the next thing we need to do is inspect it. This rotor is okay, so you want to clean it off with brake cleaner, get all the oil off of it, so when you put it back on, it's not going to mess up your brakes. You want to scrub it down, get all the oil off of it. Now you want to put the hub back into the rotor. Take the bolts and the nuts and put them back on. Alright, next what you want to do is install your rotor and your hub back onto its axle. Wiggle it back on. As soon as you get that on, you want to take the hub nut and its washer. First, tighten it up by hand. After you tighten it by hand, after you tighten it up by hand, you want to take the impact gun and tighten it up. Make sure you line up each slices in the metal. We'll line up a hole on each side. You want to line them up so you can fit the cotter pin back in. Grab your cotter pin. Get your cotter pin back and just bend it over. Next step is to install your bracket. before you put back on your brake shoes, you want to compress the piston.
Are those brake shoes or brake pads?
The brake pads.
And what tool is that?
It's your piston compressor. It pushes down the piston. You want to take the brake pad, put it in between this point and your piston, turn it until the piston's completely compressed.
Is that an expensive tool?
No, it's about $5-6. You can also use a C-clamp if you don't have one. Now you want to reinstall the brake pads. Now you want to reinstall the caliper. You want to use the 14mm socket to tighten it up. The last step that you need to do is go inside, pump up your brakes to make sure that it has a nice tight feel. So I'm going to go do that. Okay, the brakes are nice and tight, so you can reinstall your tires. When we're tightening up the lug nuts, you always want to go in a star pattern, but we can't quite go in a star pattern until we're making a piece. So we're going to start here and go. And that's how you remove and install brakes and rotors on a Hyundai Elantra.
Hi, my name is Kyle Greenway, and today I'm going to show you how to jack up this Beretta. Now here we have our jack stand. What I'm going to do is put this jack stand under the car. I'm going to put it right there, because you want to put it in a safe place, because if you don't put it in a safe place, you'll probably break one of the parts of the car. Start jacking this up. Have to get up to do this because it's easier. Start jacking that up until the tires are completely off the ground. A bit more. Okay, that should be good. Here we have our jack stands. Find them, get them in a good place so that you can lift the car down easy. So, I'll find good like metal piece so where you can put these. Good. sure that's there.
And how do you know where to put them, actually? What do you look for? How do you know where to put the jack stands?
You go under the car, and where you find to put the jack stands, you look for like a metal piece, like something that will actually hold it.
Okay.
Take the other one. And have it in the same place as the other one. Put them. Okay. Just evenly. Okay. So what we're going to do next is just turn this so the car will go down. And you really want to go slowly, like that. Okay. Now that we have this car jacked up, now I'm going to show you how to take the car off the jack stands. So then we're going to jack up the Beretta. Jack it up. Jack stands and take them out of the way. Put it up here. We have the jack stands out of the way. We're going to easily lower the car down. You want to do it gently, not too fast. Pull the jack stand out of the way, and that is how you jack up a car. Hi, my name is Kyle Greenway, and today I'm going to be showing you how to jack up this Beretta. Now here we have our floor jack. Now I'm going to start jacking the Beretta up. Start jacking this up, and what I'm jacking the Beretta up on is the frame. Back it up. Get a little bit high enough so you can put the jack stands under the car. Okay. Now we take our jack stands. We're going to put the jack stands here on the pinch weld. Over there. Over here on this side. And put this one right about there. Wait, right about there.
When you're using jack stands there, do you need to watch out for anything in particular?
You have to, yeah, you gotta watch out, because when you're putting jack stands there, you have to watch out, like, when you're about to lower it down, you might not have put that in a sturdy place, so you want to make sure you put the jack stands in a sturdy place. That way, nothing will break or crack. So we're gonna lower the car down very gently, because if you lower down too fast, then bad things happen. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now I'm gonna lift. Now I'm gonna lower it back down. So we're gonna lift the car back up. Lift it back up. Okay, we're gonna move our jack stands out of the way. Clear the car. Put it over out of the way. So we're gonna lower the car down. The only thing I forgot to mention is that you want the four jacks standing up straight so no one trips over it. So we're gonna pull that out. Yeah, my name is Kyle Greenway, and that's how you jack up a car.